Look what my lover man got me. He said this would increase the production values of my show, and I agree.
G'day gang, it's your old pal Uncle Ghastly here again with another episode of the Gummy Voice Show. Today I've got a better light here, and I'm going to try a blue screen on the Commodore 64 instead of a green screen because I think it might work better. It's hard to tell, I'm looking at it through the camera viewfinder, but I think it looks like it's a more solid color choice. Anyways, after we go to the table to make bad synth music, we'll come back here and I will tell you a little bit about Gummy Voice and non-Gummy Voice and who they are and what they do to and for me. So, see you at the babble or see you at the table.
G'day gang, we are here at the table. And it's pretty much the same setup as last time, except we have added the K-Oscillator Pro. It's the sibling to the Chaos Pad here. And the K-Oscillator Pro is the ultimate jamming instrument because for me it's a very, very random instrument. What you get out of it. My voice is going to be a bit weird today. I bit my tongue, so it's a little swollen. But yeah, no, the K-Oscillator Pro is an awesome jamming instrument because of its randomness. At least for me as a keyboard player, it's incredibly random. I don't know how I play it, but somehow I do. Anyways, another thing people might be wondering about is why in a video series that I'm planning to make where I talk about my mental illness and how it's affected my life, am I doing synth jams? And because Gummy Voice tells me the only way I'm going to do this is if I make it really rewarding for me to do it. And this is a reward for me, right? I love jamming, and it's fun to do it stoned too. And that's the other reason why I have this jam session before I go to the chair to do the babble. And that's because marijuana has, this is news, so you might want to sit down for this. Marijuana has recreational uses. No, it's true. It does. I trust me, it does. We all know it does, man. And for some reason, that seems to have created a hatred of the drug because it's just some people can't stand the thought of people having fun. And so I'm doing these jams because I'm showing you the recreational side of marijuana here. And the recreational side of marijuana is valid. And using the fact that, if we make it legal medicinally, then people will lie about having disorders in order to get that marijuana for recreational use. And it's like, well, just legalize it, man. That's way easier. Legalize it recreationally and legalize it medicinally. That's why I'm doing the jam part, right? Because when I think about the stupidness that has gone on since God knows when over this damn drug. It pisses me off, really. It really does. And when you're angry, you can do two things with your anger. You can either seethe an impotent rage, which, see where that gets you, or you can become an activist and do something to try to bring change. So that's what these videos are for. That's where they come from. I am advocating for both the recreational use and for the medicinal use of marijuana. And along the way, I hope to destigmatize mental disorders. Anyways, back to this setup. See, I babble all the time. Anyways, back to this setup. I've added the chaos oscillator here because it creates an area of randomness. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the scale function, and I'm not even going to look at what scale it is. And I'm going to try to lay down some sort of loop on the K oscillator. And I've got I can make 4 loops on it. It's really handy that way. So I'm going to make a loop on the K oscillator that I'm just going to jam out with. So I don't even know that I'm going to put more on, because I'm probably just going to do straight on just jamming by myself and playing around while I do it to see what's fun and what works. Yeah, so let's start with the K Oscillator Pro, and I'll randomize the scale function. We don't know what scale, where she goes. I'm not looking at the thing. Maybe you can see it on the camera. I don't know. There. That's our scale. So I have no idea what the scale is. And I'll start by laying down pattern 162. Oh, I'll start by arming and recording. I bet you, hey, there's someone out there that was going, oh geez, Ghastly, you're gonna screw that up so bad. You're gonna forget to arm it, and you're gonna do a really good jam and get to the end and have nothing. Where are we at? Oh man. See, Gummy me does not like menu diving at all. Alright, why did I screw that up? Alright, let me erase that. Oh man, we're crashing and burning. But you know what? Gummy Voice said it's okay to go off the rails sometimes. So, what am I doing here? Alright, let's, there we go, and delete that loop, because somehow I didn't record the loop right. So we'll try it again. Okay, just a second. I gotta stop this and record that back, because I'm gonna have too much stuff to edit out if I don't do that. So, where was I? Oh yeah, I recorded a loop. Now we're going to try recording it. All right. Oh man. I have no idea what scale that is. I got that. I hope I got that. I had fun. I eventually found it. At least Gummy Voice did. I have a feeling I hear notes that I don't normally hear without Gummy Voice, and so sometimes it just sort of makes up its own bass line, not what I'm actually hearing, and then I just jam to that, and I think that's why I go off the rails sometimes with the Gummy Voice on that. But I really like that. I'm going to give it a listen to, and if that's the one, I'm not putting another thing on it. I'm going to put it up there as a jam just like that, and that's going to be our jam. And now then we'll go and we'll have the babble. So let's hope this works. Well, I think Gummy me was really pleased with the jam as it went. It seemed to be a lot of fun. Took me a while to pick a pattern out of it, and I don't know if I picked the right one, but I had fun. I had fun doing it, anyways. And it'd be neat for me when I'm sober to watch it and exactly figure out what I was doing then. But anyways, that brings me to the point of tonight's babble, where I talk about my mental illness and how it's affected my life, and how using marijuana to treat obsessive compulsive disorder and other mental disorders has really been a benefit in this year. So the characters in this video series thing are they're not hallucinations. My disorder, I'm not schizophrenic, OCD is completely different thing. So they're not hallucinations. It's just I think through a process of simulation and conversation. I'll simulate conversations with myself to decide what's right and what's wrong, sort of thing, or what should I do in this situation and stuff like this. It's just a lot. It's actually very, very, very common, and so. But that's the way I think. The two voices I want to talk about in this video series. One is called. We'll call him Gummy Voice because it's his show. He's the director and producer of this show, and I'm sort of following Gummy Voice right now because I am currently under the effects of marijuana, and so Gummy Voice is the dominant voice in my head right now that I talk to, and yeah, he's very encouraging. If this blue screen thing works, then there should be a picture of a Gummy Voice behind me while I'm talking about him, because one of the ideas Gummy Voice had, that where he shouted down a character I'll get to in a bit, non-Gummy Voice, was he said that I can collaborate with myself when I'm sober on this project. I don't have to let stoned me do everything, right? I can watch these videos again after I've edited them when I'm sober, and if I see something I can do to improve it, yeah, that's not cheating. That's not cheating because there's no rules for this video, just guidelines, right? And so that's how I came up with the idea for doing with the blue screen instead of green, because it's a more saturated color than Commodore 64 green is, and yeah. So who is the other voice? The other voice we will call non-Gummy Voice. Non-Gummy Voice, there'll probably be a drawing of him too. This is gonna sound weird. This is the bully that beats me up in my own head. It took me a long time to draw this picture. I was kind of surprised because I was getting really stressed out drawing it, and it feels, this voice here is telling me when I'm getting stressed out drawing it that oh, what the hell is wrong with you? This isn't even a real person. This is I'm entirely you. All right, so what the hell is wrong with you that you're getting freaked out drawing a figment of your imagination? And I did. It took me a few days to draw this one, whereas my picture of Gummy Voice, I drew that like, woo! Oh man, I could draw Gummy Voice all day long, and that's one of the weird things is I came to realize and really realize it through just having Gummy Voice there, is that I'm treating myself the way I would never treat anyone else, or even stand to see someone else be treated. And I've always known that, because the thing about Gummy Voice is he's also me, right? Just as much as non-Gummy Voice is me, Gummy Voice is me, right? They're not hallucinations. It's just the way I have my thoughts. And Gummy Voice, well, he's not like that. He doesn't bully me. He's a little more objective. And he's made me believe things that I've always known to be true, right? Like, he doesn't know anything I don't already know for myself. And he doesn't know anything that I wouldn't give as advice to a friend who was having the same problems I'm having. But this non-Gummy Voice guy, he makes me believe I don't deserve to be treated the way I would treat other people. And it's a really weird thing when you go through life with a lot of really great things, like my family. I grew up with great parents, had a fantastic childhood, and my friends, and just a lot of privileges, right? You grow up with a lot that a lot of other people don't have. And yeah, you had a few fights in childhood, and guy who picked on you a little bit here and there, but you never had like this bully that that traumatized you. There's no face, this kid on the school ground that used to beat the crap out of you or anything like that. It's just a very normal life, and yet your bully, the person who treats you the worst in your life is yourself. And that's been non-Gummy Voice my whole life. A lot of it has been beating me up over a neurological disorder I suffer called obsessive compulsive disorder. And there are many types of obsessive compulsive disorder, and I can't speak for all people with OCD. I can only speak for myself and maybe some people who are neurologically similar to me could empathize or understand what I'm saying. And non-Gummy Voice has my whole life tormented me over something I have no control over. And when I took marijuana, this was my first experience taking marijuana. I knew going into it that it's a crapshoot, right? Half people with OCD it works, half of them it doesn't. Half of people with anxiety disorders it works, half it doesn't. It's a total crapshoot if it's going to work or not. And so a friend of mine gave me a gummy, and they use it to treat their anxiety disorder. And so I took the gummy, and I'm reading. It was like packaged and individually, and had instructions printed on the back. And I would never have done this had marijuana not been legal, because my obsessive compulsive disorder would always go, what if, right? Like, I'd be too worried about getting arrested and how that would destroy my life, right? So, yeah, so I'm reading the back of this gummy, and the instructions was, cut it in half if this is your first time with an edible, and eat it, and if in a half hour you don't feel anything, eat the other half. So I ate it, and in a half hour felt nothing, and so I had the other one, and then a half hour after that felt nothing, and then went to bed, and woke up with one of the worst panic attacks of my life when the gummy kicked in. And for people who suffer panic attacks like me, you know what it means when somebody laughs about a panic attack they had. Like, that is rare, because it really sucks. And so I woke up in the midst of the worst panic attack I ever had, and non-gummy voice was the first responder, saying, "Look what you did, you idiot. Look at this. Look at this. You knew the odds were 50-50, right? Your therapist had told you this. You knew that you might end up with a worst panic attack ever, and you knew this was going to happen, and you did it anyways. What an idiot you are." And then all of a sudden, there was another voice that was like, whoa, dude. I'm too stoned right now for this bullshit. Like, let's slow down a second here, right? Let's look at what's going on for a second. You're having a panic attack. You have panic attacks all the time. It's so, automatically saying, "Oh my God, the gummy gave me a panic attack." You have no basis yet to know that. This is your first time ever being really stoned. So, you know what? What is it your therapist taught you to do when you're having a panic attack? And then it's like, oh right, yeah, I was taught skills to deal with this panic attack. And I dealt with the panic attack. And it was interesting, this new altered experience, this altered state. And I started to explore it after I used my skills to get through my panic attack. And it was pretty cool. And it got me thinking about stuff. And normally when I think about stuff, non-gummy voice is the voice that's there to shape my thinking. And he berates me constantly, and when I'm going to sleep at night, that's the voice that I have while I'm trying to fall asleep. So I have sleep disorders as well, as you can imagine. And yeah, he's the guy that I normally deal with. But this time, when I was stoned, for the first time, I had someone else to bounce my thoughts off of. I had this gummy voice in my head, who, when non-gummy voice tried to, throw in his 2 cents, Gummy Voice was like, dude, I'm too fucking high for this, man. Like, man, you know, let's not go there, man. And this is why I've drawn. I really hope the blue screen works. This is why I've drawn Gummy Voice the way he is, right? Because I anthropomorphize my thoughts. So Gummy Voice to me looks like a very comfy university professor. You know, he's got the tweed jacket with the suede patches, and he's cuddly looking, and he's got a soft beard, and he's just super friendly guy who's, you know, we've probably all had a professor, if we're lucky. I shouldn't say we should all, but I've been privileged to have professors like that were just, you know, really great guys. You love talking to them. And so that's sort of why I drew, you know, my mind creates Gummy Voice. He looks like this. And non-Gummy Voice, he's weaker than me. He's smaller. I'm a big guy. I could flatten him. But he's smart. And he knows every wound I've got. And he just, ugh. Yeah, and so that's why he looks like this. And I should say these are just, you know, constructs. How I envision them. People in real life are not tropes. So you know, you might be being abused by someone in your life that looks exactly like a Gummy Voice, and you might have someone in your life who's the most awesome person in the world who looks like a non-Gummy Voice. So, you know, you can't really judge people by how they look. But in my head, with, you know, the culture I was grown up in and stuff like that, this is how I've anthropomorphized them, right? That's the way my thoughts form their image, because I think through image and simulation. Anyways, I probably babbled for a bit. If this goes on too long, I'll just chop it in 2, like I did the other one. And maybe I'll play them in reverse order this time. I don't know. Yeah, so I guess that's it then. I've said, introduced the cast, basically. Gummy Voice and non-Gummy Voice. So, thanks for letting me share with you.